Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode with the middle ground. It's your boy Suede, and I'm here today as promised. We have some stories today. I even got some paperwork on the Trump executive orders as promised. Um, it's a lot, but I'll kind of skim through it and get y'all updated on what's important on what Trump put on there that was important to us, right? Mm, okay. Um. All right, guys. We got a full show for you guys today. Um. Let's get started. Right. Let me check, make sure everything's good. Everything's good. So, how was your day today, guys? Had a good day. Good day. We gotta stay strong in the good days and the bad days, right? So, stay focused and get your goals. Get to the goals, right? All right, guys. So today here we got a news developing here out of Turks and Caicos. Um, a Cook County deputy was killed there as she was on vacation, right? R.I.P. to her. Um, very unfortunate story, but we do have a video on that for you guys. Let's put that up here. Okay, there you go. So apparently she went on vacation in Turks and Caicos while partying at a lounge. I say party in quotation, but she probably was just chilling, right? At a lounge, hanging out, and gunfire erupted downstairs. So she wasn't even in the same floor that the whole thing was happening. And unfortunately, gunfire erupted and she got hit. Um, Unfortunately. And it's a little bit weird because everyone like going to Turks and Caicos, right? Turks and Caicos has been one of the most popular vacation destination lately. We have a lot of the celebrities going down to Turks and Caicos, most notably Drake, always flying out to Turks and Caicos. He has a home out there, and countless other celebrities, right, go out there and party. And people like us, they everyday people, um go to Turks and Caicos and vacation, have some fun. So unfortunately for her, she was doing just that and got killed. Very, very sad story. But let's hear what the news had to say about it.
Family of a Cook County Sheriff's deputy are remembering her family after her life was after she was tragically killed while vacationing in Turks and Caicos.
Hmm.
Shimon Duncan was shot while celebrating her sister's birthday on a rooftop Saturday night.
So correction, right? She was they were partying, I guess. It's partying if you're celebrating, right? Um so she was celebrating her sister's birthday. Very sad. Now, if you're that sister, you probably feel horrible, right? Just a sad thing. Unfortunate things like that happen and to good people. And uh, she probably took time off work and um thinking about getting back to it. It's a new year. You thinking start the new year on a with a vacay and a good note, you know? Man, that's sad.
NBC5's Lexi Suter spoke with Shimon's family today.
This photo is from just over 24 hours ago. 50-year-old Shimon Duncan was surrounded by her siblings, and together they were enjoying the warm Caribbean air in the.
Which one is her? I'm guessing that's her right here. Yeah, cause she don't look like an officer. She got titty tattoos. Um, yeah, 50-year-old. Don't look like it. I mean, you know, black don't crack. But yeah, looks like they were having a good time and gunfire erupted.
Turks and Caicos until tragedy struck.
We came down here just to celebrate her birthday, that it would turn out like this. I'm heartbroken. It's devastating.
Two of Simone's sisters spoke with me today from the island. They say they were at a rooftop restaurant.
Oh, that's them right here. So which one is her? This one? I'm guessing it's this one, chat. Or this one. Yeah. So they have, what is this, a costume party? Because everyone else is dressed normal from what I'm seeing. This will get like the Jay-Z hairstyle with the headband and the wild twisted hair. Yeah, it seemed like that's Tina Turner, and I don't know. This looked like maybe that's just a picture of theirs, right?
Restaurant last night when they heard what sounded like fireworks.
A couple people that was with us said that she, instead of her getting down, she stood up. And then they seen her fall after she got hit. And she probably...
Yeah, man, you gotta get down. You gotta get down. See, it's probably her training that kicked in. Her gunfiring stood up and tried to locate the direction where the fire's coming from, and she probably got confused because it's under her. It's not like outside or anywhere near her on the same level as her, right?
stood up. What we believe is because she's a Cook County sheriff.
Duncan served 21 years with the Cook County Sheriff's Department. Most recently,
21 years. So she's consistent. She's a hard worker. You know, most people, a lot of people, you know, 5-6 years, they're kind of done with the. You know, I have a lot of police officer friends, right? Well, I used to when I lived back where I used to live prior to this, and you know, it's a hard job. And if you're young, you probably do 5-10 years in there and find something else to do, right?
working inside the jail. Her sisters say it was probably her instinct to jump up and help when the rest of the rooftop ducked for cover.
We have never, I've never experienced anything like this before. People talk about Chicago, but I personally have never seen anything like this before.
Police do not believe Duncan was the intended target and continue to investigate the crime. Meantime, this tight-knit family is left without its rock.
Wow. Very unfortunate. Most likely have kids, grandkids probably, by the looks of it. Yeah, very sad. Very, very sad. And, you know, rest in peace to her, and, you know, prayers and thoughts to her family, right?
Rock. They say Shimon was the oldest and the mama bear, not only to her siblings, but deeply devoted to her son and granddaughter.
To watch my sister, who I love dearly, you can see the blood gushing out of her. It took like 30 or 40 minutes for the paramedics to get there. Our brother was doing...
Yeah, it's the islands. It's the islands. And that's why, guys, a lot of time we gotta be thankful we do live in America. I know, you know, the political climate will have you going left and right. You even hear some people saying, hey, let's leave America. But remember, guys, there's not many places that you're gonna get everything you get here in America. And one of the things we do get in America is rapid response. And, you know, when you call the police, if you're in trouble, if you call 911, you're gonna get an answer, and most likely you're gonna get help within 10-15 minutes. Now, I know there are some examples that we know of that, you know, the police don't come right away, and you know, we well aware of that. In the hood, the police is not showing up in 15 minutes. We well aware of that. But in most cases, we should say, you're gonna get help within 10, 15 minutes sometime very, 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 very quickly. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But it's unfortunate because she got shot in Turks and Caicos, and you know you probably get an ambulance in 30, 45 minutes because of the roads and because of the system there. Probably don't have like a real efficient system where you could get in there and save someone real quick. And unfortunately, she probably died from bleeding too much, right?
CPR,
Mm.
it's unimaginable.
And now the waiting game begins. They say they have to stay in Turks and Caicos and wait for their sister's autopsy to be completed and then schedule arrangements to bring her body back to Chicago. Lexi Suter, NBC5 News.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and yeah, they're probably gonna be there for a little while, probably a week or so, um, to get their sister's body together and flying her back out here. Um, it's a very, very, very sad news. Um, Thoughts and prayers to them. We'll keep an eye on this story as well. We'll keep tab on this and see what comes of it. I think I have here. Let's see here. Let's get a different perspective because here I think I see her family, her son. Let's get
Nothing but
let's get a few of this commercials. Excuse the commercials, guys. It's YouTube. YouTube will hit you with some commercials. It's all good. But yeah, unfortunately, man, we'll see.
Deputy Shimon
This
Duncan,
happened to
her
her. Let's
only
see what.
son, tells me she was in Turks and Caicos for her sister's birthday when gunfire rang out outside of a party and the 50-year-old grandmother was hit by a stray bullet.
Ooh.
I lost a lot of people, and it just feel different when it's being your mother.
Oh
It's no
man.
birth. You only get one mother, one father.
Yeah.
I lost the one.
It's a bond between a son and his parent.
This is not a picture, this is a video.
That for Shaman Payton was suddenly ripped away.
I've seen all type of travesties being in this city, but to have this hit me it's just so real.
An emptiness now swells in his heart as he faces a new reality without his mother, Shimon Duncan, following tragedy in Turks and Caicos.
Just wish it was someone else rather than my mother, but I'm a God-breed man, so I don't want to put that pain on nobody else. I'll take it. I'll take it, but it's hard. It's hard.
The 50-year-old grandmother was on her second of 3 nights on the island vacationing for her sister's birthday. Payton tells me his mother, along with 2 of her sisters, were at a rooftop party Saturday night at a restaurant when others began to argue downstairs. That's when he says a shootout ensued.
People started yelling, telling people to get down, and everybody got down, and my mom got up. And then she got hit. Bystanders came, and they tried to help.
But Duncan was killed by a stray bullet. The Chicago native was a 21-year veteran with the Cook County Sheriff's Office. The department in a statement to ABC7 saying in part, "Our hearts are broken for the family." Duncan's legacy now lives on in her only child as he grapples with this unimaginable loss.
Mama, I love you. There ain't a person in this world that's gonna be able to change that.
So heartbreaking. Now, a Turks and Caicos man was also killed and another person was hurt in the shooting. Police say it doesn't appear Deputy Duncan and the other 2 victims were the intended targets. No one has been arrested.
watch breaking news.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So they killed the guy they were trying to kill, and unfortunately, she got hit as well. Very sad, man. And if you guys know what it is to lose a parent, is I've had friends lose parents. Fortunately, I'm one of the fortunate people that still got both of mine, and I thank God for that. But you know, shout out to him, man. I know he's going through it, uh, having to explain to his kid, and yeah, very unfortunate. Um, but we gotta cover them. We gotta make people aware of these things. So when you go on vacation, uh, you know, depending where you're going, make sure you're aware. You know, try to be as aware as you can. In that case, I don't know if there's anything she could have done other than get down on the floor, right? Instead of standing up, which is what they keep on saying was the mistake in this case. But who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right. Well, moving on, guys, to our next story today. Breaking news. We got ASAP Rocky. Went to court today, and he plead not guilty. Uh, well, he had plead not guilty, and that's about a year ago. But today he went to court, and he turned down a plea, I should say, and chose to take the case to trial. Now, you might be wondering which case we're speaking of, right? Um, Before we get into that, I'll give you a quick update here um on what happened. This is last year, ASAP Rocky in court on a guns charge, right? And I believe this is where he plead not guilty.
Alleged November 2021 shooting of ASAP Relli. Now, Los Angeles police say the rappers got into a heated argument that escalated into gun violence.
And joining us now with more on this high-profile trial, ABC News contributors Mike Muse and Brian Buckmeyer. Good to see you guys, as always. This is a big talker here. Brian, we'll start with you. No gun was ever recovered. The surveillance videos, they aren't clear. So how in the world did this case even make it to trial to begin with?
So it's two things. It's a patchwork of circumstantial evidence. You've got two different videos, one showing a person that they can't ID with what they believe to be a gun, but they're able to identify the clothing the person is wearing, and then a subsequent video where the police are saying, well, that's ASAP Rocky, even though we can't see a gun. And again, they're kind of patchworking together. But ultimately, it's moving towards trial because of the standard that's needed to provide enough information to go to trial. It's called a preponderance of the evidence, or more likely than not. So the reason why it's going to trial is because literally it's more likely than not there's enough information based on the people making the accusations that ASAP Rocky shot at ASAP Relli.
Now this is gonna get tricky because ASAP Rocky, as we know, is Rihanna's boyfriend slash husband, right? They have two beautiful kids, I believe, 2 or 3 beautiful kids. And you know, that would be very devastated if he end up going to jail because the kids are all under 5, I believe. Um and in this case, so he did went to court today and turned down a plea. But so now we understand it's probably because he feels like he has a good chance, right? They had no guns. They got some videos, but it's very unclear. And we'll get to it. I'll show you guys. I have it here. Show you guys the video that I got showing ASAP Rocky in the whole altercation. But let's finish this video here.
Okay, Mike, these two guys were friends. How did they end up here in this situation?
This is really a friendship kind of gone awry. And when you look at ASAP Rocky, look at ASAP Relli, you have to look at the word ASAP. So ASAP is a collective. It's a friend group. You know, some of the most popular ones that have come out of ASAP are obviously ASAP Rocky, which we're well known for, and also to ASAP Ferg. But it's a big group of collective that really got formed. We're in high school, living in Harlem. Some have become more successful than others. And what we see between Relli and ASAP Rocky in particular is that Relli thought that ASAP Rocky had forgot about a lot of the members of the group. A lot of the member groups were not having as much financial success. And in particular, one of the individuals.
Sound like he was hating. Sound like my dude was hating. And it's something that a lot of successful people go through because you'll have friends that you've been with for a very long time. But unfortunately, their actions and their work ethic or their circumstances is such that they're not as successful as you are. And they will hate, unfortunately. and it's a very sad thing. A$AP Rocky probably was hurt watching the hate in his friend's eye, and altercation happened, and he probably have to defend himself, right? Because with hate, it be the closest ones, closest ones to you that'll do you. You know what I'm saying? Pause. Not in that way, but you understand what I mean. So, in A$AP Rocky's defense, maybe he felt threatened, right? But I don't think that's his defense they're gonna go with, because clearly this case, it's probably his lawyers probably let him know it's not that strong of a case, because the evidence they have are not, strong, and they don't have definite evidence that he did it. It's all circumstantial from what the news is saying. So let's
the group had
so what
passed
else?
away, and he was upset because he felt that Rocky hadn't done enough to support the friends and the funeral. Subsequently, what we found out was that A$AP Rocky did fund the funeral and has been supporting their friends. And so it's one of those tales of friendship gone awry, one has become more successful, and others are accusing him of not doing enough to give back, which is a challenge that a lot of the rappers face in this community, to bring people along, and particularly in the sports world, the media world. Once you have first-generational, even college students, right, there's this burden of that support, of having to support your community going forward, and then the questions you get asked.
And Brian, there was something else that stood out to me. A$AP Relli actually called his attorney before contacting police. He collected the case shellings there. What do you make of this? Does it cast any doubt on his story, or make it seem as if...
Sound like my man was prepared to set my dude up. Yeah, my man was prepared to go snitch. You collecting evidence, that's probably what you're gonna do, Yeah. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting, but becoming successful, it will happen to you. It will happen to you. Believe me.
As if it was planned? Any ulterior motives?
It casts a lot of doubt. On top of that, there's also a civil lawsuit that was filed shortly after A$AP Rocky was arrested. So take everything that Mike says about the background dynamics of this relationship with this group, and then add on that after the shooting, he doesn't call 911 first, but he calls his attorney. Law enforcement goes and surveys the incident or the place where it allegedly occurred, and they don't find any evidence of a shooting. But somehow Relli, days later, provides the shell casings, but there's no gun. So how do we know that these shell casings went with this gun? How do we know that a shooting actually occurred? They say there's a video.
Well, they could test a shell casing if they find the gun, right?
Where 2 shots went off, but A$AP Relli says that 3 to 4 shots went off. And so there's a lot of kind of ambiguity and potentially reasonable doubt in this story already, that when it goes to trial, really is a question mark as what's going to happen.
Okay, Mike, we got to talk possible strategy here. So what will A$AP Rocky's legal team be trying to do as we watch this play out?
One thing I'm looking out for is that A$AP Rocky's defense attorney said that A$AP Rocky is cool as a cucumber right now. And I think when the defense attorney says that their client is as cool as a cucumber, indicates that they have something to disprove this case in totality.
All right, well, Brian, the next pretrial hearing is set for March 6th here. What can we expect between now and then?
Negotiation. I don't think A$AP Rocky is going to end up taking a plea deal, but every defense attorney is going to wear 2 different hats. You're negotiating to get the best possible deal for your client, but also at the same time, you're preparing for the discovery the prosecutor's going to give, and there might also be some exchange of information from the defense. Because per the story, there are 2 other members of the A$AP conglomerate that were there. My question is, who are they going to testify for?
Goodness gracious. Talk about some friend group drama.
And this is and he's right. There were more than 1 people there. It wasn't just them 2. And I'll pull up the video for y'all so you could see what he's speaking of. TMZ had it from when it happened in 2021. It seemed like that's old boy right here. Oh no, that is A$AP. My bad. That's old boy and that's A$AP. It seems like that's a friend right here. Yeah, it's a big deal because we could see ASAP there. We see the braids, we see the clothes, we could see the friend, we could see the victim allegedly, and we could also see the friend there. That's there as well. Ooh, there goes the gun. There goes the gun. And from the video, you can't see. Maybe that's an extended clip, but you could see the gun clearly. Did I hear a pop? And this is two people, so maybe those are the two. And this is ASAP walking. And I see 1, 2, 3 people approaching him, right? 3 guys approaching him. Seems like there's a scuffle. There's a clear fight going on. Somebody ran. Somebody's running. Somebody chasing the person that was running. So that guy seemed like the gentleman with the long hair, right? So it's not the person he was fighting. Is that a gunshot? Did you hear a gunshot? Yeah, that's a gunshot. That's a gunshot. 2. All right. So, yeah, clearly something happened, right? Something happened. So let's finish the video here. Something happened.
Drama. It's going to play out. All right. ABC News contributor Mike Muse and Brian Buckmeyer. And before we go, we have to say congratulations to you and your Michigan Wolverines.
Okay. So that was the end of that story. So unfortunately, dude called the cops and, you know, he got shot. So, I mean, you got to get some help. So he probably called the cops and reported that A$AP Rocky had shot him, right? And this is today. Let's see here. If I can make this bigger. This is today. This is A$AP Rocky walking to the court today. So this is A$AP Rocky today walking into court with his lawyers. So the prosecutor came up to him and gave him a plea deal to avoid trial. And the plea deal consists of time in jail. He had to do time in jail and some time on probation. We don't know what the probation would consist of. We don't know if he'll have to stay in California or if he can leave the state or leave the country. So A$AP Rocky is probably worried about all that right now because he does live in Barbados a lot of the year with Rihanna and his kids. So he's probably thinking about that. But from what I was reading today, it seems like they're trying to get him 20 years for this. So if he goes to trial and blow trial, you know, he can get 10 to 20 years for this. very serious, very serious. But he did turn it down. He turned down the plea, which consisted of some probation and also 90 days in jail, I believe. So 120 days. I'm sorry, 120 days in jail was what they're offering him, and he clearly don't want to spend any time in jail. 6 months in jail or probation. So we'll see. So now they're probably getting ready to go to trial, and hopefully everything works out for him. We don't want anyone go to jail, man. You know, we don't want anyone going to jail. So we'll see how that happen, how that go down for ASAP Rocky. And hopefully everything work out for him. Did y'all see Sexy Red? Sexy Red today is going viral for this picture right here. Her and Martin Luther King holding hands. That's good. That's good editing right here. That's good CGI right here. Sexy Red had Martin Luther King in the club. They looking in each other's eyes. Look like a freak off about to go down. As you can see in the comments here, this I agree. Why do this? You know? Yeah, people are in uproar with this. They don't like it. He could sue her. They call her shameless. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with this. It's just, edited picture. She probably loved Martin Luther King and, probably love Martin Luther King. Sexy Red respect Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it, guys. We all good. We all good. We all good. Shout out to Sexy Red. Her music's been good lately. Everyone likes Sexy Red. All right. All right, guys. Our next story, as promised, I said I would kind of go over some of the orders that Trump had signed, right? And what they entail. We're not gonna go into too much details, but we're gonna get the gist of it, right? So Trump signed into law, right? So most of his executive order is pardoning the January 6 people. Over 1,500 people who are involved in the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol. A sweeping grant of clemency that fulfilled a campaign trial promise. And so Trump did promise this. Trump did promise that if he gets elected again, he's gonna pardon all the January 6 people. How y'all feel about that? No. These were his supporters, and they did break the law. So, the man's gonna do what's in his best interest. Just like Biden yesterday, pardoned his whole family for what we don't know. We'll find out. But this is politics, people. Trump is gonna pardon these people, 1,500 people, let them out. They're probably all out already. And some of them had some hefty sentence. And a young lady died. If you remember, they shot somebody in the head. Somebody died. We saw that on TV, live TV. So if you remember January 6th, you remember the chaos that happened that day. All right. On immigration, so of course it's cracking down on the U.S.-Mexico border. Some of the things on the bill is he's resuming the border wall. He's ending catch and release, so there's no catching people on the border and releasing them. So he's stopping that, because what they were doing, they were catching people, getting them on paperwork and letting them go on a court date. So he's stopping that. So he's doing a remain in Mexico. So he's probably gonna keep these people that are migrating up letting them stay in Mexico. Stay in Mexico. Um, so some of the immigration and those asylum people, he's restricting a lot of them. Okay. He is going after the drug cartel. We know that. He mentioned that he will make the cartel a terrorist organization, and go after them, which will make it easier to go after the cartel. So that's what that does. Okay. Energy. So he's gonna be drilling. We know about that. We know he'll be drilling and selling energy around the world. Federal workforce. So he also asking all the federal workers from COVID, from the COVID era, to get back to work. So no longer you could just be at home in your underwear working, you know. So he's ending that. Um, he's removing the U.S. from World Health Organization. I don't know. I don't know what that does. Uh, and reinstate people that were penalized for not taking the COVID vaccine. That I'm happy about right here. That I'm happy about, because if you remember, a lot of people, personally, I didn't take the COVID vaccine. I just stayed home. Um, Most people had to take the COVID vaccine in order to work, if you remember, and you were forced to take it after all the misinformation, disinformation, Fauci lying to us countless time, and which Biden did pardon Fauci as well, so they can't go after Fauci, which was pretty weird, right? 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada. So goods coming into the US from Canada and Mexico, he's gonna be taxing them a little bit higher, 25%. And then he's gonna do the external revenue. So he's gonna establish an external revenue service, which gonna be collecting the tariff from everyone. So it's kind of like the IRS collecting taxes from us, U.S. citizens. The external revenue service will be collecting taxes per se from everyone that shipping product into the US to sell, right? So I'm okay with this, except for the inevitable truth that these people will just raise the prices on those things. So unless they're gonna have to kind of dictate what these people sell their products for, or understand the prices what they were paying before, and how that's gonna adjust with inflation. Um, I'm sure that this department probably gonna keep an eye on that. Um, on avoiding, right? We want to avoid them raising their prices. So the 25% tariff doesn't roll over to us, the customers, the consumers that are gonna be paying for the products, right? All right. And I think in a nutshell, that was pretty much it. I have my notes here. So I printed out most of it here as well. Some key points. We already got the General 6. Oh, and also, so the US is only recognizing two sexes, meaning male and female. We went over that a little bit yesterday. Um, let's see here. So what that does is all the medical information, all the medical records, uh, school records, these bathrooms that they were building in California, where uh, they would remove the signs, right? Allow anyone to go. It's like non-binary bathroom or something like that. Um, so they're gonna do away with all these things because there was a fight to start implementing these things in schools or letting people that says, hey, I'm a guy going to I'm a girl that's a guy going to the girls' bathroom. So things started going in that direction, and anybody that you know have kids or know people with kids or have family members with kids, nieces and nephews, I'm sure you'd be worried about this, right? Yeah. So he uh he withdrew the US from the Paris Climate Agreement. And that has to do a lot with emissions and pollutions and things of that nature, which also stop uh a lot of business move from being done, right? So he's removing that and moving forward. Um, it's only been 2 days. Today's his first full day as president. Welcome back, Trump. And we'll see how these things implement and what happens. Um, what happened when um when all these things get implemented and uh go in effect, and see how it help us, right? How it fix our economy. One more thing here that he also did was here I found out was very interesting is Mount McKinley. So he changed it back to a mountain that's in Alaska, the tallest mountain in the US, right? Uh he changed it from Mount Denali, which Obama did when he got into office, and he changed it back to Mount McKinley. And I was wondering what's the big issue with this mountain, and because I was like, man, that's just some random stuff he did. So I did a little research on that, and then what I found was Mount McKinley is in Alaska, and the reason why they named the mountain Mount McKinley has a very bizarre reason, right? It's some it's it was due to uh some type of presidential election, and it was in a way of promoting the election. That's why they named the mountain Mount McKinley, which is named after the president, right? So let's take a look at this here.
On the eve of President Obama's visit to Alaska, the name of Mount McKinley, North America's tallest peak, is being changed to Denali, the name used by Native Alaskans for centuries. Here with us to discuss is WSJ's Elizabeth Williamson. Elizabeth, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
So this is no coincidence that the official announcement of the name change came last night, is it?
No, it's a debate that's been raging for about 4 decades, and for longer than that within the Alaskan Native peoples. But yeah, it's a funny kind of a situation in that it's yet another kind of affront to some members of the congressional delegation from Ohio, where President McKinley was from, that the name would be changed. They think that this assassinated president who is from Canton, Ohio, should have his own mountain and keep it.
Well, explain why a man from Ohio has a mountain in Alaska named after him.
Good question, right? Why would a man from Ohio? So President Williams, is from Ohio, and why would his election have to do with a mountain all the way in Alaska, right? And the mountain has been named. The meaning of the mountain was tall mountain or big mountain, which when Alaska was owned by Russia prior to us buying it for not that expensive. I don't remember exactly the price, but it wasn't crazy expensive, right? When we purchased it from Russia, even the Russian called it tall mountain in Russia. I don't know the translation, but she's gonna mention it here.
Good question. what happened was, back in 1896, a gold prospector, this is, as we probably know, North America's highest peak. He thought that at that time, McKinley was running for president. He wasn't president yet, and it certainly wasn't after he'd been assassinated, which is when most things are renamed. But as a kind of promotional stunt, a campaign stunt, they decided to name the mountain after him. He'd never stepped foot inside Alaska, and as I said, he was from Canton, Ohio.
So the man never even went there. And y'all name a whole mountain after him. So, and this is who Trump is returning the name to, because Obama had changed it back to the tall mountain, which is Denali, meaning tall mountain to the Alaskan. And Trump said, "Fuck that. We returning the name back for whatever reason." Who knows?
Ohio. So it really was a kind of misnomer at the beginning, intended just to promote a candidacy.
And as you mentioned at the beginning, the push to change the name back to Denali has been in the works since 1975.
Yes, yeah. The Alaska congressional delegation has long been in favor of changing the name to Denali. The state forest around it is called Denali,
okay.
And it just means big mountain. Ironically,
Big mountain. Okay.
when the Russians owned Alaska, they also called it Bolshaya Gora, which also means big mountain.
Big mountain as well. Okay.
This big mountain was named McKinley in 1896, and it's been a fight ever since.
One thing everyone can agree on, that's right, I guess everyone can agree on the fact that it is a big mountain.
So, yeah, so Trump changed it back to its original name after Obama had changed it. I think back in 2017. It's changing it back. Actually, I misspoke. I think, when did Obama change the name? I'm not sure. But this report here was in 2015, letting us know why they changing the name, and now Trump is back, and he's changing it back. So I thought I'd give you a little backstory on this McKinley Mountain. But you know, Trump is doing a lot. We'll find out in detail some of the things he's doing as we go on, because we know the news is not gonna miss it. But regardless, you know, some of the things he's doing we agree with, right? And some we don't. Some of it's, like, for example, this mountain rename, I don't know what it does for anyone other than probably his base probably like it. I don't know. But nonetheless, we're gonna let Trump do Trump and see if it help us in any way, right? Let's get to our next story. We like to get a little bit of technology story in. In our tech story today, we are covering why U.S. tech companies struggle to replicate China's WeChat. So I guess China has an app that consolidate a bunch of the apps you'll be using. It's like an all-in-one app, and we'll take a look at the newest technology out of China and why we like it. So let's see.
Imagine if you could combine all of those programs into a single standalone app, a one-stop shop to socialize with friends, order food, pay rent, or even consult with a doctor. A super app of sorts.
The Super App is a software program meant to be used on a mobile device that has multiple diversified services and a common payment platform and is widely adopted.
The best and most popular example is Tencent's WeChat. Now, it began in 2011 as a simple messaging and photo sharing app. From there, it moved into payments, games, shopping, even a place to book your doctor's appointments.
While super apps have flourished in Asia, their adoption in Western markets, including the US, has been slower due to a variety of factors. But that could be changing as more and more tech companies set their sights on bringing the super app model to the US.
Elon Musk rebranding Twitter to X this morning. It's all part of his larger ambitions to create an everything app that combines messaging, social networks, and payments.
We're watching shares of Expedia and Uber this morning. A Financial Times report said that Uber has explored a possible bid for the travel booking website.
It fits into an ambition that CEO Dara Khosrowshahi has held for years, and that is to build a super app similar to a WeChat in China that combines multiple products and services on one platform.
So what's behind the appeal of super apps in Asia? Why has the United States been slow to adopt the everything app model? And can we expect a super app in the US anytime soon?
Super apps are basically an app where you can do multiple things within the app itself.
They can include anything from social media and messaging to ride hailing to online marketplace to dating to booking a doctor's appointment.
Which Instagram do most of it, right?
And the list goes on.
Most of the well-known examples of super apps today are probably in Asia, namely in China. Tencent-owned WeChat really was the original super app. You've also got Alipay, which is run by Alibaba affiliate Ant Financial, also is a massive one as well. They collectively have about more than 2 billion users.
The most famous is China's WeChat. It started around 2011. It has messaging platform, social media platform, but then over time, they sort of bolted on all these additional services.
Ultimately, it notched 1.3 billion monthly users who had very little reason to ever leave this app. It became an ecosystem in and of itself.
And so by some estimates, the WeChat app has 1 million or more mini programs that are contained within this single, what we call a walled garden.
Elsewhere in Asia, super apps, they've taken off as well. You've got South Korea's Kakao. It's used by more than 90% of all smartphone users in the country. There's Line in Japan, Grab in Southeast Asia, Paytm in India.
Yeah, Grab is very big in Asia, Thailand, Japan, Philippines. Yeah, a lot of people use Grab to get food, to grab a taxi, almost like Uber. It's like an Uber of Asia.
India.
But we're all sick of the dozens of apps on our phones, and the appeal of the super app is that all of those functions of those apps are in one place in the super app itself. It's convenient. It's frictionless.
Because you have so many diversified services contained within a single app, this just makes it sort of a one-stop shop for consumers to have access to the variety of services that they would need for the majority of their daily life needs.
Professor Dan Prudhomme, who wrote about the likelihood of super app adoption in the US for the Harvard Business Review, says frequent app engagement also allows companies to collect data on individual users.
So it can help triangulate.
Same issue we having with TikTok right now, because when you have a super app and you have all your financial information, your debit card, bank information, you have your food ordering information on there, you have your location that you've been going through. This is all recorded in that app. And when you have that much data on someone, marketing them certain things is not that hard. So it is a very good idea if you're not worried too much about your privacy. You don't mind, them using where you've been, where you're going, what you're eating, when you're waking up, who you're talking to, what you're saying to them. If you're not worried about these sort of things, which in China and most of Asia, the laws and privacy and the government involving themselves in some of these businesses, these are a little bit different than here. Here we have, right, and this is the big fight we're having right now with TikTok. TikTok is having too much information on us, which is what the U.S. government is saying, and they're using this information to learn our behaviors, learn our patterns, learn our habits, and essentially, when someone know that much about you, then they could target you a little easier because they know more about you, which is the issue that the U.S. government is worried about.
The product and service offerings that it gives to you, and it can also be useful for targeting advertisements. So it's really beneficial for consumers, it's beneficial for the service provider side, and it's also beneficial for advertisers.
Similarly, a greater willingness by Asian consumers to adopt the so-called everything app model, as well as a greater willingness by Asian companies to innovate, have both allowed super apps to gain widespread popularity in the region.
Super apps work in China and the broader Asian market because it's a very internet-savvy population, one that has leapfrogged desktop, gone straight to mobile.
Asian consumers in many markets were less locked into desktop-based applications. And so when an attractive mobile device-based app came along, they really adopted it widely. In many places in Asia, there's sort of less of an aversion to being reliant on a single company or few companies to sort of offer you products or services to cover the majority of your everyday needs.
Another critical element to super app adoption in Asia is the introduction of digital wallets.
One of the most important aspects of this is payments and banking. That is how those Asian super apps grew.
In the US, for example, the consumers and the merchants were very reliant on credit card infrastructures to transact. That is not the case in many places in Asia, China, and elsewhere. By introducing these digital wallets, which are essentially just kind of like a private bank that's not relying on credit card infrastructure to function, you offered sort of a cheaper and easier way to transact amongst consumers and merchants. And that certainly encouraged the adoption of the super apps in many places in Asia.
To buy or not to buy?
So this is a big problem with us because our businesses, our banks, and our system here, will not allow a lot of those things to happen, because of privacy issues, especially from a Chinese company. We don't want them to have all that information, all that control. And I don't know. I don't know if it's a bad thing. What do you guys think? You guys want to make life a little easier by using these programs? Because that's what they use over in Asia. Everywhere you go, you grab a Grab and use your app to pay. You go to 7-Eleven or any other food place, you use your app to pay. Even in the food markets, a lot of the food markets that's just selling food on the side of the road, they have systems where you just pay with your app. So
Many in Silicon Valley have long considered WeChat as the gold standard for mobile apps, and tech companies have set their ambitions on creating the next super app for the US market.
We already are, to some extent, seeing super apps in the United States. They're just not as super, if you will, as WeChat.
Elon Musk, for example, for years has spoken about X, the company he now owns, as turning into a super app. And you're seeing him talk about things like payments, for example, and other integrations into X. You think about WhatsApp, it's trialing out payments in India. Facebook Messenger has integrated Meta's AI assistant. So you're seeing all of those apps slowly bring on more and more features as well.
You look at Amazon, right? Of course, you have Marketplace, but you have video streaming and you have music streaming and you have a pharmacy option and a place to book doctor's appointments. You look at Facebook, you've got social media, you've got messaging, but you've also got a marketplace, you've got a gaming function, and Uber, of course, has ride hailing, but it also has Uber Eats and grocery delivery and parcel delivery and so on.
Uber, for its part, recently discussed a potential acquisition of the travel booking company Expedia, a move analysts say would further cement its status as a travel super.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't think that's a bad idea at all because it's all traveling anyway, so it's probably gonna give you more of a long distance traveling option, right?
For app.
This is one step toward a super app, and no different than what we see in Asia. The super app concept is where Uber's going. This is really Uber trying more and more to be a one-stop shop when it comes to travel.
So I think there are clear examples of super-ish kind of apps already being widely adopted in the US. And to some extent, I think there's room for other super-ish kind of apps to take off in the US.
There are several reasons why tech companies have been unable to bring the super app model to the US. One of the main challenges, regulatory and antitrust concerns.
The regulatory environment in the US today is certainly not as conducive to allowing a super app to develop. There's very strong protections on things like peer-to-peer lending, data privacy, antitrust, and so on that don't allow the apps in the US to quite thrive in the same way that WeChat could.
Exactly. So in the US, a lot of the regulations we have do stop some of these things from happening. Is it good or bad? I don't know. In Asia, they're working they working with them pretty well, and there's not much complaint. But again, China is a communist country, and most of those countries in Asia, the government has a stronger hold on its citizens. So and you know, their citizens fine with that. They living pretty normal there, right?
If an app does everything, questions will be asked. Is it monopolistic? How is revenue being shared with the services that are on board the super app? Is it hurting competition? These are some of the other questions I think competition regulators will look at.
Another major challenge facing U.S. companies contending with existing competition in the marketplace today.
The US market is way more fragmented and there are so many more players and competitors. You think about China. WeChat is the dominant messaging app. It's so ingrained in a Chinese society and used by Chinese people every single day. But in the US, it's different. There's WhatsApp, there's Apple iMessage, there's Signal, there's Telegrams, there's multiple different messaging apps. And in a particular category, you think food delivery, you think taxis, so there's multiple different competitors who are often rivaling each other. And actually, they don't want to share data or share customers.
And also in China, there was, of course, some protectionism, which allowed, namely WeChat as an infant company, being shielded from, say, competition by Facebook or Twitter or Google, YouTube, and so on.
Then there's the third obstacle for companies, user behavior.
People have different relationships with brands, with the apps they use. If I'm going to book a holiday or a flight, I might use a specific provider. Or if I like my food delivery from a certain place, I go there, or my shopping from another place, I'll go there. So you have to have the users on board. Will they be willing to say, use all these services via an app that's owned by Meta or by Uber or by Apple or whatever company it is? I think you can expect to see a super app in the US, but nothing like how it is in Asia. It would be perhaps a super app light, shall we call it. You'll see green shoots of that appear. Companies will begin to start adding features and integrating other services into the app.
I don't think we're going to see a super app in the sense of WeChat, right? If WeChat, if we use that as the gold standard of what a super app is, it's kind of a global anomaly. It has, a million or more mini programs embedded in it. We're not going to see something like that in the US, I don't think, anytime soon.
But some of the challenges around the fragmented marketplace, user behavior, regulation will really, I think, stop a US company from building anything akin to the likes of WeChat in China, for example.
However, we already are seeing super apps of sorts, what we could call super-ish apps.
Was that shade to Elon and Zuck? I mean, these guys are closer to Trump now, so they probably have a little bit more leeway. And this is what some of the regulations that Trump probably gonna help Elon and Zuck and all his tech billionaires probably gonna be able to help them open these things up and make life a little easier for consumers here. Because as we're finding out with TikTok, a lot of people make their living with TikTok. And although it is a Chinese app, it worked perfectly well for them. And some even say their algorithm is a lot better. So, will they allow these Chinese companies to do business here and give us some of their apps that are working so well for billions of people in Asia? Or the second option is that that also Trump is trying to implement. Give us half, and then you could operate here. Now the worry is, what does that entail? Giving them half, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna change the app? Are we worried about them changing how things work and the processes? We don't know. So these are some of the things, guys, that we don't have in the US and that people all around the world in Europe and Asia do have in their toolbox, right?
Apps being widely adopted in the US. So we have Amazon and Facebook and Uber, and together they have a lot of different services that really cover the majority, I think, of people's everyday needs.
Uber, for its part, has said it would continue building on its super app ambitions.
We are slowly but surely building that super app that can be your operating system in your local town. Anything and everything that you want, anywhere you want to go, we as Uber want to be there for you. There's no other company that's trying to do this, and there's no other company that's executing that local super app vision as we are.
The super app definitely began life as a Chinese phenomenon, spread out to the rest of Asia, but there's no reason why some aspects of that can't be replicated around other parts of the world. I think it's just a longer journey. It's more of a journey that requires changes in user behavior.
It's very apparent now that US consumers are willing to adopt a super-ish kind of app. They like the convenience of the apps. They don't want to have app overload where they're downloading all different types of apps. And so I think there's a real, value proposition there for super apps.
I agree. Now, will it happen? We'll see what happened with TikTok. And then we'll see if we'll be able to take part with these technology advancement that are going on around the world. And we got a taste of TikTok. We understand how good it is. We love it. So I'm sure a lot of these apps probably do work very well for the citizens of Asia and the people that are using it over there in Asia. I'm sure that we know different, right? I'm sure we'll probably like them too and find them useful. So hopefully with Trump in office, some of these things we'll be watching, and we'll see if there's any improvement in these department. Moving on, guys. We've been on for over an hour, so we're gonna move on to our last story. Our last segment. As you guys already know, if you watch the show daily, you guys know that I usually do a little dating a little dating segment on YouTube when we watch either Pop the Balloon or we watch some gold digger videos. We just find them funny. We'll kind of analyze them and speak on the dating world now in 2025, right? Here I haven't watched it yet, so we're gonna watch it together. This is Kendra G, and this is her show, and we appreciate you, Kendra G, for letting us use your show, your content, and allowing us to react to it. Okay.
Ready? I am ready. I was up here before.
Okay, update?
No update, babe. I don't know if it's me or the niggas, but I'm gonna.
Whoa. Just like that right away, right? Nothing wrong with the word niggas. She's a black person, so there's nothing wrong with it. But if that's what you're calling the people you're dating, then
Sit down. How you doing, baby?
No, I don't know if it's me or the N-word.
No, it might be me. Oh, all right. I'm gonna stop cursing. Let me sit down. Let me find me a little spot in my crib.
When were you on the show?
I was here a few weeks ago, actually.
All new Kendra G singles dating app. It's available.
Remember Lauren England?
Oh, okay. When did you call me? I want to find that. When was it?
A couple weeks ago.
You gotta give me the exact so I can search. Was it on this platform?
So what are we rating her off rip, guys? We like to kind of rate these girls from what we got so far. The way she's speaking, how she sound, how she look. Where y'all at with it? I won't give my personal opinion. I want to hear a little bit and to see but she mentioned it might be her. And if you think it might be you, then it might be you.
Rosie! I didn't know. Yes, baby.
It was on Facebook.
Face tattoo, neck tattoos. Nothing bad, but it's a presentation. You got your little hair wrapped up. Look at her versus you. I know you home, but you're trying to find somebody to date. The person that you probably want to date is probably watching this. So presentation is important, guys. Okay.
Excuse me, Instagram.
Yes, it was on Instagram.
And you can't remember the date? Was it in 2025?
No, it was 2024.
So was it December?
No, it might have been like October or something like that.
Oh, that's a long time ago. If you can remember the date or the month before it's over, I could go back and look in the archive.
Okay, but I'm still here. I'm still
all right,
searching
bring the camera up so your head's not cut off.
Okay. Well, I have a fucking do-rag on. I'm gonna stop cursing.
You
I
call
have a
me with a
potty
do-rag.
mouth.
Yeah. You called her with the durag on. You home. You could have taken it off, do your hair. You know what I'm saying?
Rag on, honey.
I have a potty mouth.
Okay, but you call
We
me
get
with a
it.
do-rag on.
Yeah. So I do the do-rag thing. I have a tattoo right here. I have one right here. I'm a little rough around the edges, but I'm very much a sweetheart.
Okay. What is your name, honey?
Y'all
Sugar.
believe y'all believe that, chat? Y'all believe she's a sweetheart? Yeah, she's a sweetheart, all
Sugar. Where
right.
you calling me from?
Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Cherry Hill,
New
New
Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Golly.
Do you have any children?
Yes, I have two beautiful girls.
How old are your girls?
Congratulations.
12 and 7.
So she's a little
Both by the
older.
same man?
Huh?
Are both?
That's a no. That's a no. You see that face? Girls don't like. That's another stigma that girls have, about themselves, right? If they have more than one kid, they don't like to think about it's by two different guys. And we understand why. Because most guys don't want to date a girl with a bunch of baby daddies. That's a bunch of problems to deal with, right? So I understand why she can't hear, but we know she heard, right?
Both of your kids, do they have the same father?
No. No. What is
That's
that an
enough?
answer? That's
Yeah,
enough.
no.
Have you ever been married?
No, I would love to though.
Okay. What do you do for
Mhm.
a living?
Insurance.
And all right. Do you believe in, how old are you?
I'm 34.
34.
34,
And
yeah.
what's your zodiac sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Searching for the best.
And I'm sorry for the commercial guys, but in the sound, it seems like her sound is not sinking in with the picture, but it's on their side, so nothing I could do.
By two men, never married, works in insurance. 34 is an Aquarius.
Yes.
What kind of man you looking for, girl?
A decent human being. Just somebody decent. Like I could deal with everything you got going on. I know how to deal with men. I was just looking for somebody that understands what I got going on, and we're good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. A lot of men nowadays are very impulsive. They're very dick hard. They like dealing with they private parts and stuff like that. I'm not trying to deal with that shit.
You said that.
A lot of men nowadays are very impulsive. They're very dick hard. They like dealing with they private parts and stuff like that. I'm not trying to deal with that shit.
You said that they're very dick hard?
Yes. And I'm over it. And I get we all horny. Everybody's horny since the pandemic. I'm trying to move on from that shit. We all horny. You're horny. I'm horny. Okay, cool. But what are we doing after the fact?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, I'm not going to agree because last time I agreed, I got put into the conversation. What are your deal breakers?
My deal breaker is a bum ass nigga. Just a bum ass nigga. Can't deal with them. Don't want to get into it with them. I'm not trying to be around a bum ass nigga. I'm over it. I've dealt with bum ass niggas. I had a nigga lie to me and tell me he was living with his mother and he was in a shelter. I had to tell him to give me the address, and then it was a mess. Child, it was a mess. And now he's in his own living situation. I get it, and shout out to him, but I'm trying to move on from that. Like, don't lie to me. My deal breaker is a liar.
Okay. Oh, child. So what is your definition of a bum ass man?
Somebody that does not take themselves serious, somebody that doesn't put themselves forward and understands what life is about. Like, you a bum ass nigga if you feel like, you know what a bum ass nigga is? A bum ass nigga is a nigga that puts sex before his responsibilities. That's a bum ass nigga. You don't want me, I don't want you either.
Well, sugar, can I be honest with you in a girlfriend way?
Yes.
Do you think you're presenting yourself in a way to attract anything but a bum ass nigga?
In what way?
I mean, listen, you can be you, but the way you're talking, the way you came on, what type of opposite man is going to reach out to you when you present yourself this way? I'm just having girlfriend talk.
Well, what way am I presenting myself?
I mean, you said bum ass nigga a few times.
Okay.
You know, I could tell you're a pretty girl, but listen, you look natural, but there will be some people that will bring that up. I just think that, life is law of attraction. And the way you're coming across, I can't see anything besides a bum ass nigga hitting you up.
Well, Kendra, I can't make everybody happy, babe.
It's not about making everybody happy, but I'm just trying to get you to understand why you are attracting bum ass niggas.
Digital agencies, listen up.
You gotta be funny.
I'm trying to be honest.
I'm not here to play. I'm here looking for somebody decent, a decent man. This is what you do. And I'm here to collect what I'm supposed to collect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you gonna get what you gonna get.
Well, you think I'm gonna give me a bum ass nigga from the way I'm
Absolutely.
acting? From the way I'm
Absolutely.
acting?
Absolutely.
Because I'm not being woman-like.
I mean, it's not even about judgment, right? Because if I'm thinking of, listen, let me tell y'all something. In my real life, I have quality men that I can never introduce you to. I mean, I cannot do it. Like, I cannot present you to men who I know do very well, who are seeking serious relationships. I cannot bring you to those type of men. So I'm trying to educate you. If you want to just be a highlight, that's one thing. But if you want to be serious, you're gonna have to switch up your presentation to attract a different type of guy. That's all I'm saying. You could be you,
But
but I just
Kenta,
think
we are one and the same though.
how are we want to of the same.
Because I've seen you publicly turn up and be a little bit out there, but you know what it is? You're a clean looking woman. So you carry yourself to a certain standard, but you still have that thing in you. That makes you be you. Why I can't do the same? Because I didn't come up here with a bunch of curls.
Well, let me jump in. I definitely have a ghetto side. I have a proud ghetto side. A lot of the times, though, my ghetto side is a reaction to when I got to turn up. So I would definitely agree to that. But this is your first presentation. There's no need for you to go off. Now, had you went off, that's different. But you came out this way. It's not a reaction. Okay. This is just the way you're presenting yourself. So I'm going to give it to you. You're absolutely right. I cuss people out all the time.
Yes.
And I go very, very low when it is time.
So it's not time for me to do it, is what you're saying.
Well, it's your first. Presentation of putting yourself out there for a guy. Well, I don't remember the first one. You know, so, but either way, I just wanted to enlighten you because I don't know if you're being serious or if you're, because it could be two things. You could be just trying to be funny, and that's what it is.
I don't play with the way I present myself on the internet at all.
Okay.
But I just try to be me, and that's it. And sometimes me is not me, and then me is me. But what I will do is if I get the chance again to come back up here.
No, you get 2 times. So let's finish this one out. So you did what you want. What did you know? We did your deal breakers, which is no bum ass N words, correct?
Yes. Am I allowed to curse up here?
Listen, you are allowed to be you. So what I'm trying to tell you is
can I go?
Be the you want to present to the guy. I'm sorry, I was muted for a little while. Be the you want to present to that guy. You know what I'm saying? Be you.
Can I talk?
Sugar, hold on real quick. You can be you, but you can't get mad if you being you attracts a certain guy. That's all I'm saying. But you can absolutely be you.
But Kendra, I feel like that being a strong, outspoken woman should not deter certain men from you. I feel. And that's where you get it confused, shorty. You're not being a strong woman. This is not what a strong woman understand place and time. A strong woman know how to sit back and listen. A strong woman know how to take criticism, and a strong woman know how to apply change when she receive these criticism if need to, right?
Like but it does though. I think ladies push a lot of pushback on that, but for the type of men that y'all want in these salary ranges, unless you're going for a rapper, right? Somebody that lives that life.
Right.
But if y'all want these, well-decorum men that make a certain amount of money, it does matter. And a lot of times those men just want a woman to get along with their plan. They're not really trying to negotiate that. But those are the men y'all say y'all want. So
I'm gonna tone it down.
Let's continue. Let's continue.
Okay.
So we did your deal breakers. Should the guy look a certain way?
Yes. I would love a man taller than me.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in my area that I can date, and somebody that can actually control me. I need controlling.
There you go. So I understand. Um, I understand where she's coming from, but no man that understand himself, that's pushing to be better, that's striving to build something bigger than himself, care about a woman that he has to control. I don't want to control you. You should just know what to do and how to behave. Those are the basics. You know what I'm saying? And shorty, you got some growing up to do, right? Cuz bum ass niggas have time to control you. Bum ass niggas got time to control you. Exactly what you don't want is what you're attracting, right?
I'm a little bit
You want a man
out
that will
there.
put you in your place.
Absolutely.
Mm.
A strong man. I would
Mhm.
consider him a strong man.
Just out of curiosity, your two children's dads, neither one of them were options?
Are you ready to see your brand on TV?
Good question, right? Is any other guy she's was with a strong man? You didn't know what you liked back then? You got a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old? So yeah, so she was right at that mark, that 25 that 25-year-old mark. But yeah, still no guy that is busy taking care of himself, taking care of life is going to worry about controlling a woman, dog. That don't happen.
They were. Well, one of them I just found out today that he had another kid. That was a big thing for me. I'm actually
Real quick,
like,
are
yeah,
you streaming right now?
hell
Okay,
no.
no.
I only got one phone, baby.
Okay, that's what they were telling me in the comment section. Okay,
Oh
so
no.
continue.
I only got
Why your
one
children's
phone.
dads are
I don't
interesting?
stream. I'm not a streamer.
Okay.
I'm not, yeah. I don't do things
We
like
get
that.
it. We get it. Just move
But
on.
I'm not. But I found out he had another child today, which it did break my heart.
Which
Make me
one?
feel
Which child's father is this?
the oldest
12.
one.
Okay.
The 12. Oh, girl.
I wrote it
Yeah.
down. You said a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Okay. Okay, yes. 12,
That's
yes.
normal to
So
remember,
I
shorty.
just found out today that he had an older a son
Mhm.
that he produced
Mhm.
without my knowledge. I feel like he owed me the respect to tell me at least.
He don't owe you shit.
And it did make me upset, but I would want a man around me to understand what I feel. Like
Mhm.
just somebody that's like,
Mhm.
Have you guys still been dealing with each other for the
no.
last 12 years? No.
So you want a daddy. You want a daddy that will baby you and let you act up and what? Discipline you when you act up? Listen, man, you know, she's an interesting. I mean, I'm sure she's fun, you know, but fun and having somebody to build a life with and be next to you is two different things, guys.
No. Okay. Now, was your child his only child?
No. Oh, he had a son. His son is like 19.
Well,
Oh, so you just found out today he has a 19-year-old son?
Yes. So I thought I was the last of the, but I guess I'm not. And it
How
kind
many
of
kids does he have? Do he have?
just a 19 and my 12-year-old.
So you thought
but
you
now
had his only child?
I thought I was the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And that threw me off. Kind of threw off my night, and
Okay.
that's probably why I'm a little bit up here and being
Have you
upset.
been drinking? Okay.
A little bit.
A little.
Just to mask the pain.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that relationship been over for years, right?
Yeah, but he just sent me a D pic, Kendra.
Yeah, that explains. She probably is drunk because she's not acting 100 right now. And while you heard that your ex baby daddy is doing whatever he does or have whatever he has going on, so clearly you still over there.
doing, so.
This is why, but hold on real quick. This is why sometimes people don't want to deal with people with children because baby daddy is still always.
Baby daddy wanted to pull up. We have not dealt with each other for months. So
months, your child.
Months. Your child is 12 and you have another boyfriend that you have a child with. So there you go.
12
years.
Months or years?
A little bit of both, girl. But no, listen to me. So, you don't put a timeline on when you talk to somebody. So,
well,
I didn't put a timeline
you guys
on it.
don't have a timeline. You have a lifetime connection. You have a child.
Exactly. But he put himself out there, and he put himself out there for real a couple weeks ago. And he sent me a D pic. Okay. And I was like, okay, you know what? We back good. And today's actually my daughter's 12th birthday.
Okay. She's all over the place. So it seemed like she's still fucking with that guy. And she got heartbroken because she found out he has another kid. So now she's like, fuck it, I need another man, and we're gonna call Kendra. Very inconsistent, very vague, very all over the place. What do you do with that?
That's why I'm sipping, because we was partying. My family came here, so we had a few drinks and stuff like that. And I found out because I'm talking to him, and I'm like, you know what? And that's why I trust my gut. My gut is nothing to be played with. I'm like, you got a baby on the way? He's like, who told you that? I'm like, somebody told me. He's like, yeah, I do. He's like, actually, the baby was born already. And that kind of messed up my, does
he have a new child or the 19-year-old?
A new child.
Well, okay, so girl, you're not telling the story appropriate.
Okay.
You said he had so you told us he had a 19-year-old.
He has a 19-year-old.
Now we have a 12-year-old.
12. So the 19-year-old is his son.
But
the 12-year-old is my daughter.
But you said that you found out about the 19-year-old today. That's not who you found out about.
No, the baby is months old.
Okay, that's why I was trying to get, because I was gonna say, why are you mad about a 19-year-old child?
Oh, no.
So he recently had
yes.
So this makes sense. So how old is the newborn baby?
He's not telling me how old the baby is. He just said I had a baby.
Okay, so now
so he's not lying. What's wrong with that?
How you guys got back to dealing with each other?
Well, he sent me a D pic a few months ago.
So deal with each other after the D pic?
No, we were supposed to meet up for my daughter's birthday. Because he was supposed to pull up for my daughter's birthday and just,
Do
this
the
is
thing.
12-year-old dad. Okay, so how we got here, because I was just trying to figure out why you couldn't be in a relationship with your 12-year-old dad or the 7-year-old dad. What about What about the 7-year-old dad?
He's not involved.
Okay, all right. So, shouldn't the man look a certain way? I'm not sure if I asked you that question.
I think as long as he's taller than me.
How tall are you?
And I'm 5'9".
Okay.
I'm a tall girl. I'm a thick girl. I did the Kendrick cam. I did that before.
You're gonna do it again?
Girl, for real?
We didn't get there yet. Yeah, you gotta do it again. So be taller than you, 5'9". What about money? Should you make a certain amount of money?
No.
Okay.
We can make it work.
You can make it work. Let's do the Kendra cam.
Oh God, Kendra, I have on a nasty t-shirt. Can I change my shirt?
Go ahead, girl.
Right,
y'all be having every excuse in the world when it be time for the Kendra.
No, Kendra, this is real shit though. Like,
I mean, it always happens. Y'all got every excuse in the world when it be time for the Kendra cam.
I'm just gonna throw in the shirt because we all big up here. We're the leftovers, Kendra.
Who's the leftovers?
We're the leftovers, and I saw it. I read an article.
Who's the we? Who's the we?
They said that anybody above the age of 30 are leftovers.
Honey, I'm not leftover or nothing.
Is she putting Kendra in her foolery? That's crazy.
And I'm a specialty, so let me tell you something. I'm trying to be kind. Now I let the earlier comparison slide. If you want to talk about your life, that is your business. But stop acting like we one and the same. Now it's gonna sound cocky, but I'm gonna have to be cocky for a second.
Oh, I thought you was.
You got
I'm
the
not talking about
first one.
you.
You got the first one off. You ain't getting the second one off.
Who you talking to? Me?
Talking to you,
Oh, don't
exactly you.
play like that.
Sugar, Cherry, New Jersey. I'm talking to you. That's who's on the phone, right?
It's Cherry Hill, baby.
Well, whatever. It's the girl on the screen. That's who I'm talking to.
Who you talking to me?
Exactly. Sure am.
Oh, you got a nasty attitude. What's up with you?
Oh no, I'm reflecting you.
Mm.
You want to do the Kendrick Cam or not?
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, then do the Kendrick
Yeah,
Cam.
do the Trinity Camp, shorty.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, put her in her place, shorty. Put her in her place.
I can't make none of y'all niggas happy on here though. Let me put the phone down. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay.
She's fat.
We see you, girl.
She's fat.
We can see your legs.
Yeah, so she's fat.
Yeah, I'm a regular bitch.
Okay.
Okay. Sugar, when was your last relationship, honey?
A few years ago. That was with my baby father.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone? You don't have to answer.
Probably like 6 months ago.
Okay. 3 flaws. We gotta see your face. 3 flaws you have to work on.
The way I talk to people.
Okay, good. Good.
I have a big problem with authority.
Okay.
And
then you want someone to control you.
My time. I don't have a lot of time to deal with people, but I want to. And my third one, I would say, is my habits of being in my soft girl era. I'm not there yet, but
guys, get rid of that soft girl era bullshit. I feel like it's just an excuse to act crazy. There's not an era for that. You either that or you're not. You either learn to be a kind, loving, appreciative, thoughtful, understanding woman, or you're not. You know what I'm saying? That's just who you are, shorty. I don't know if there's an era for that. People are who they are deep inside. You know what I'm saying?
Still want to settle down. And my lips being dry.
All
Yeah,
right.
she's drunk.
What is?
She's definitely
Oh wait,
drunk.
I think I got it. What's the age range you want to date?
I'm going all the way to 90. I don't give a fuck.
You know what?
She's desperate. She's desperate. It's giving me real desperate.
Did you say that last time? Why would you date a 90-year-old man?
Because I feel like he gonna leave me with something.
Oh, you want a sugar daddy?
No, it's not that. I just want a man to be in his space and to be able to deal with me. And you be who you are, I'm gonna be who I am, and we're gonna make it work. That's it.
That's not how it works, but okay.
And if you 90 years old and you got something to, you got a little bit of extra space to pass around, why not?
Are you talking about money? Because a 90-year-old probably can't have sex anymore.
Time too. Time is very important when you deal with a man. To me, time is more important than sex. I would deal with a man that has more time than sex.
So, guys, she's a little drunk. We're not gonna put all of this against her, but she sound crazy. She sound wild. It sounds like, personally, it sounds like that relationship will be full of misunderstanding, full of drama, full of just arguments and yelling and probably a little violent. You know what I'm saying? And if you notice, she didn't speak about the second baby daddy because it sounded like he probably dip on her and he probably went to court and got restraining orders and all of that against her. So you can tell there's an issue there. She's not touching it. It's probably something legal. But we're gonna cut it off here. We're gonna let her slide. Let's see if Kendra, before we go, let's see if Kendra has something to tell her.
Introducing custom knitwear.
we'll wait and see if we'll fast forward a little bit, but because she's not in her right mind today, and if that's her every day, then we have a problem.
Now, I told y'all all the time, I'm gonna sit here, I'm a bougie ass girl. I live in Beverly Hills, California. I worked very hard for the life that I have. But I will cuss your ass out at any given moment. Okay? And the bottom line is respect is a requirement. It is a requirement. So if you're calling here to find love, that is the reason you call here. No other reason to call me if you're not looking for love. And that's just that. All new Kendra G Singles dating app. It's available now on iPhones and Android phones. Just go to your.
All right, Kendra, just download the app, guys. Download the app. Go to Kendra and download the app. Free ad for Kendra. But all right, guys. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you watching this episode. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone that's bettering themselves. Shout out to everyone that's looking to do better in 2025 this year. Have some goals, make some vision board, and stick to it. All right, guys? That's my advice for today. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Well, hey, before I leave here, let's make sure, guys, you guys go check out our Instagram, my Instagram page, Twitter, and my TikTok. We'll be posting on these daily entertainment news, local news, entertainment, and technology news as well. And also, guys, if you want to support me and the channel, please go to our my Cash App is right here, and also my PayPal is here as well. Like and subscribe, and ta-da!